Hello, and welcome to the Kosh, the People's Podcast. I'm your host, Timber Smith, and the Kosh is a podcast that spotlights people who've had an association with the Kosh and the surrounding Fox Cities area. Kosh listeners, how are we doing? Happy Podcast Day. Happy Podcast Day. I'm always excited. You know, I'm not recording like as regular as I used to be, but we're going to get back into a routine. And this is our start to trying to get back into a recording routine with these guests today. And I did say guests, so that means there's more than one individual sitting down with me today, which makes it super exciting. Yes, most definitely. Let me give you the report that I always like to give. You know what we've had at this point?
Bruh.
We've had a little bit of good weather. Made us super excited about spring. You know, spring is one of those funny things. Like I'm ready to get rid of winter and shake it off, but I hate the teasing of spring. Don't give me 60, 70 degree days and then give me 30 degree days the next day. You're dirty for that, Mother Nature. Don't do us like that. If you're going to do us right, just go on. Once you decide you warming up. I ain't saying you got to keep it at 60 and 70. I'm just saying you can't go all the way back down to 30. I don't think that's too much to ask.
Bruh.
I'm just keeping it 100. Okay. So at this time, and also let me just say this. I want to give a huge shout out to my friends over there at Sunken Paddle Cider Works, making the best of it. They are back open. I actually hear now that they're open on Fridays and Saturdays. If you haven't had a chance to go to their tasting room and have some of that tasty cider, and you know what I'm going to say, there's this cider called the Kosh. You need to go on and check that out. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about that later on in this episode, because I do believe with our guests we're going to be taking a cider break and a brittle break, which is ironic because of who our guests are. So let me just say this, Kosh listeners, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. I don't know how we continue to get these amazing guests. And this week is no different. This week's guests are Orson and Yaw. And I was going to try to say last names, but I'm not. I'm going to let y'all say y'all last names. It could keep me from slaughtering them. Hey, Orson. Hey, Yaw. How are you doing today?
Fabulous.
Timber.
Yes. Yeah, I'm going to tell y'all now, Kosh listeners, we in for a ride because they came in with energy.
That's right.
I almost wanted to ask them what kind of coffee y'all drinking because I need some of that.
Start our day with Brittle.
All day, every day.
Facts.
Yay.
All right. I want to give a special shout out to the Brittle Daddies for being a sponsor of the Kosh and sharing their amazing Brittle with our guests as they come. And they have these fire Brittle break commercials that we recorded. They are good.
Hey. Well, you know how we like to start it off. Hey, this is Orson.
This is Yaw.
Hashtag
The Brittle Daddies.
the sweetest daddies
in town.
Bruh.
Ooh, that's fire.
So, hey, let's start off, right? Because we know you have your script, but we wanted to start off with our top 5 live. So whenever we're at the markets, we try to do on Facebook, social media, whatever, our top 5 live. And we came with our top 5 just for the Kosh.
That's right. Top 5 reasons why we are doing the Kosh.
Today.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5.
Number 5. You have such fire guests.
And we wanted to be one of those
Fire guests. That's right.
Bruh.
Facts.
Yes, that's right. We wanted to be amongst the folks who have the honor of being on this wonderful podcast.
There we go.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, number 4. We heard you giving away Brittle.
And we wanted some of that Brittle.
We want some of that Brittle.
That's right.
And we heard you had the pistachio, so.
Yeah, the adventure in your mouth.
And who doesn't like an adventure in their mouth?
I do. That's right.
Number 3.
You're giving away some crisp cider.
Hey.
And we were like, we're coming here just for that.
We here for the cider.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
the
right. Who doesn't like cider and brittle? It's a thing.
Cider and Brittle. That's another thing. So we do the beer and brittle.
Yes.
Now we're doing the cider and the brittle.
That's right.
And we want to do
Specifically, the Kosh.
Kosh cider with some pistachio.
That'll be on the break today.
All right.
All right.
Number 3.
What was it?
We hang in with Roscoe, the podcast.
Hey, listen, I was going to bring Charlie in with me, but he refused to be in the presence of another dog. I don't know why.
Yeah, Charlie said nah.
Nah.
So I guess my ginger dog is going to be hanging at home right now, alone.
And number 1.
Yes.
We didn't want to be home watching Meet the Press.
No.
Oh.
They say when it's Sunday, it's Meet the Press. We were like, nah, it's Sunday.
Nah.
We're going to be on
We're
the
going
Kosh.
to the Kosh.
That's right.
That's a good call. I don't know about watching Meet the Press right now.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
No.
Depressing.
Not, Meet the Press.
That's what I'm saying right now. Woo! Man.
Oh,
There we
man.
go. Our top 5 live on the Kosh.
I like that. That was a good list. That's an impressive list.
That's right.
You know what? I might have to keep that top 5. I might have to have other guests do the top 5.
Hey, put it on your list. Top 5 reasons.
While you are on the Kosh.
Okay. Yes. I actually like that. Okay.
All right.
Well, can you please tell us a little something about yourself and your association with the Kosh and the surrounding Fox Cities region? Yeah, let's start with you.
Oh, of course you want to start with me. All right. So, first, my name is Yaw Asare, which means I am of Ghanaian origin. However, I was born in Germany. I lived there for about 7 years until my parents decided to bring us home to Ghana. And I now have U.S. citizenship. I got to the U.S. in 92. I went to Lawrence University in Appleton, and I stuck around, I guess, because I met my wife and now have a home here and all that jazz. And so, yeah, that's me. Just call me Mr. Global.
Mr. Global.
That's right.
I'm gonna have to steal that.
Yeah.
y'all are giving all the goods.
Yep.
Okay, Orson.
Okay, so have you had guests more than once on your show?
Yes.
Okay.
You're a 2-time guest,
I am
and your episode is one of the most listened to. But
I'm a 2-time right here.
Hey, listen.
Well, okay, so Mr. Global, number 2. How about that?
Yeah, there you go.
Right? Born and raised in the Twin Island Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Moved to the U.S. in 2001 to do my master's at Howard University. Go Bison. And then from there, just travel up and down the Eastern Seaboard. So lived in Washington, D.C., Maryland, Princeton, New Jersey, King of Prussia, Pennsylvania, Mansfield, Massachusetts. And then I had a recruiter call me and said, hey, Orson, there's a job here for you. I think you'd be a good fit for it. I was like, okay. His name is Mike. I'll never forget. Mike walks around. I was like, that is amazing. And he goes, where is this job? He's like, Wrightstown, Wisconsin. I was like, where?
bruh,
Wrightstown, Wisconsin. Like,
Never heard of it.
I mean, Wisconsin to begin with, and then Wrightstown. Like, oh God, yeah. So made that bold trip, packed up the family. I had 2 kids. They were both born in Massachusetts. Moved them to Wisconsin, and this is where we've been since 2013. So it's the place I've lived the longest since I moved to the U.S. And like I keep saying, Wisconsin can be cold, but the people can be warm relative to what I've experienced on the Eastern Seaboard. No judgment about people on the Eastern Seaboard. It's a different culture.
right?
But Wisconsin nice, that's a real thing.
Yeah, and I've had that warm feeling for the past 32 years. So I've been here the whole time. No travels up and down. Just here. Just right here.
Yeah. What made you stay?
Oh, like I said, met my wife here. And got married shortly after I graduated. And I mean, I've been able to build a life here. People are great. And yeah, we raised our kids here. Although they're actually kind of doing the Orson thing right now. They're all scattering all over the place. I got one I got one in Rhode Island. I got another one in San Francisco. And I have another one about to peace out and go to New York and go hang out over there. So it'll just be myself and Leslie hanging out in Wisconsin the way it used to be.
Way back in the day.
Way back in the day.
You're empty nesting.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah. So, but no, it's been great. I mean, lots of friendships here and all that kind of stuff. And you know, the interesting thing about that as well is as I've been here over the years, the Ghanaian community has actually grown here quite a bit. And so, I mean, there's always that a connection to back home with all the folks who are around here as well. So, yeah, it's been great.
I found that that's, in general, that's kind of like the immigrant experience. Like when I came to do my studies, the plan was do your studies, spend a year, go back home.
Yeah.
And then a year becomes 1, then 2 years, then 3. Then you start building relationships. Then you have kids. And like, am I going to pick the kids up and move them to a place that they don't know? And to a place where every year your connection to that place becomes a little less solid. It's a little bit more tenuous. So when I go home once every year or 2 years, but the network isn't there. The bond with the people it's still there, but it isn't as strong. And then now you start literally building roots in a new place.
Right.
My kids, all they know is Wisconsin. All they remember is Wisconsin. And so back to your question of why do you stay? Sometimes it's the roots that you start growing. I remember the recruiter called me up and said, "Hey, I have a job for you in Alabama." And I'm having a conversation.
Bruh.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, let's have the conversation. And then my son overhears one of the conversations I'm having, and if you ever meet this kid, he's like stoic. He's like, man, a few words. He pulls me aside and he's like, "Are we moving?" I'm like, "Well, I'm thinking about it." He's like, "No, I don't want to move." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Case closed.
Next conversation, I was like, "Yeah, this isn't gonna work for me." All right, and so
He just came out the box. didn't try to elaborate. Just like, "Hey, Dad, nah."
Not
Dad.
happening.
Literally, he's like, "Nah, I don't want to do that." And to me, that was enough. That was like, yeah, all the money in the world you couldn't pay me to. I mean, all right, let's not judge Alabama, but still, all the money in the world couldn't pay me to go against the wishes of my son at that point in time.
Yeah, not if he was that direct.
Oh yeah, that was a milestone conversation. I mean, it was like a 3-minute conversation, but it was enough.
All right, that's fire. Okay, well, let me ask both of you that if you weren't doing what you're doing professionally right now, what would you like to be doing?
All right, so I'm going to take that one. So I have been in banking over my professional career for quite a while right now. It's been so many different years. I mean, I've had different stints in different things that I've done, like sales and marketing, but most of it has been in banking. And I used to work at M&I Bank when M&I Bank was M&I Bank, for those of you who know, and ended up, how would you call it? I always say I ended up on the wrong end of the transaction once it got bought out by BMO. The big guys got their, what do you call it? Their big checks, and I had to go look for another job. I know was in banking again with a different company, and they got bought out as well, and I ended up working where I am right now, which is Nicolay Bank. Great place to work. I love the relationships I've built over there, and I love the culture, and everything is all good and all that kind of stuff. But what has really interested me has always been running or doing my own business, right? And to that extent, I've over the years come up with a bunch of different ideas, so on and so forth, as Orson can attest to. And I mean, long story short, finally came out with the business that he and I are both in right now, which is Gold Coast Candy. And long term, if I had my druthers, I would be running that with him full time.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's basically it. And I figured, what you call it, I would love to be able to just do my own, wake up, do my own thing, and know that, what do you call it, if there is an issue, that it was my fault, or it was me who did it, not somebody else.
Right. Cleaning up other folks' stuff.
Oh, not even cleaning up, bearing the consequences of other folks' stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So,
That's different.
yeah, I know. So that's basically it. If I have my way, I would be doing what we're doing full time right now.
All right, I got questions.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. 2 questions.
Yes.
All right. First question is this. All right. I actually didn't know about your banking background.
Yeah.
And so my question is, why are they building so many? It seems like banks are coming up everywhere. What is up with there being so many new like banks? Like right now, I feel like banks are just one of those things. Those things are popping up like wildfire. And I would think that right now in a scenario where there's more options to do online or and working from home kind of options and stuff, there just seems to be a lot of banks that are popping up. Is there something I'm missing, or what are we missing?
Well, I wouldn't say that there's lots of banks popping up. What you're probably seeing is existing banks putting locations up. That's what you're seeing.
Okay, so convenience.
Convenience, yes. Where can I put myself where you can walk in and have it be convenient? Because online, the way I take a look at it, and this is just my personal opinion from what I've observed, right, is online banking, a lot more of the younger crowd, so I would say millennial, Gen Z, that kind of stuff, right? They don't care whether they're doing stuff online or whether they're going to the branch. As a matter of fact, for them, if it's like, if I can go and do click, 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 and be done with it, I'm good. You've got more of the older folks, right? I would say Gen X on up and all that kind of stuff. They have a tendency more, and especially the boomer crowd. For them, I think it's more convenient to just go in the bank and talk with Harriet, the cashier or whatever it is, and George act a little bit, and then move on your way, right? So I think it's more of it's generational thing. But yeah, they had a whole bunch of new. In fact, if what you're saying is a lot more consolidation, where you've got somebody who's made a mistake and tripped up, they get gobbled up by somebody who's got a better balance sheet.
Okay. So more locations, not more banks.
Yes.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But I do see what you're talking about, because it's right on Richmond. There's that new Johnson Bank that's going up.
Yeah, well, Johnson Bank has been around for a while.
But I think that was the result of them taking away the branch downtown on College Ave.
Yeah, exactly.
So then part of it is also, remember, even though people shop online, you still need that top of mind presence. So as you drive by a bank, a physical location,
there you go. Yep.
It triggers top of mind awareness. And then also, I mean, like any business, you build a location, that's a depreciable asset. So you get to actually carve off some of your
profits,
reduce your tax liability.
Yep.
So no, I don't think, for example, like Chase downtown, it used to be huge, right? It used to be two locations downtown, and now it's one little bitty branch.
Yep.
But you still want that visibility, and you get that depreciable expense.
Yeah. And don't forget, Chase used to be Bank One. So again, like I said,
consolidation.
Yeah, you got exactly. Again, like I said, you got all these the guys with the good balance sheets buying out the guys who had tripped themselves up a little bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. My next question is,
yes,
if I remember correctly from Orson, the first time Orson came on the Kosh here, that this Brittle was kind of your initial idea, where this was a childhood delicacy. That's what I'm going to say, a childhood delicacy.
Yes.
That you remembered and decided that you were going to recreate here.
Yeah.
All right. Can we talk a little bit about that? How did that happen? What was that journey? How did that click in the head? Yeah, all of that. Because how do you go from being a banker to a man that's making yummy treats? The two don't typically hang out together.
Well, yeah. So this is the way I take a look at it is this way, right? When I was a kid, I used to love this Brittle, right? And actually, the real name is actually Inkati cake, which means peanut cake. Used to buy it from street hawkers, vendors, that kind of stuff. I mean, they would make it fresh that morning. They have them in their little display cases and all that kind of stuff. And then they're going around the markets and all that kind of stuff, or wherever it is that we were. They're carrying it on their heads and all that kind of stuff. And we're buying it and having a good time with it. Now, come to the U.S., fast forward 20-something years later, I'm like, you know what? I haven't had this in a while. And I was like, my first question is as well, I can't buy it off the street. Can't buy it in a shop. Where the hell did I get it from? So I went and talked to my mom, and I was like, hey, how do you make this stuff? Do you use peanut butter? She was like, no. So what ended up happening was that she gave me a cookbook from like 1978 that had recipes of all kinds of Ghanaian snacks and all that kind of stuff.
You went back to the old school.
Yes, sir. And so I ended up going into the kitchen, as one would do, right? Started messing around with it. giving it to different folks to try and all that kind of stuff, right? In the meantime, I'd met Orson, and we had been, and this is where I'm talking about the way I have all kinds of business ideas in my head, right? I was just firing them off rapidly, like pew, 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 pew.
It's a new idea a week.
Exactly. And Orson's taking a look at me like, bruh.
Wait,
What? Yes,
we can make that happen.
that. He was like, he asked me a very simple question that stopped me in my tracks one day. I was like, this guy, man. I was like, he asked me, what are you trying to accomplish? I was like, what do you mean, what am I trying to accomplish? I'm trying to make some money.
That is the most honest answer ever. I'm trying to make some money.
And I was like, huh. So, and then as we started having more conversations about these business ideas and all that kind of stuff, he's like, look, you guys have some of the best food out there. We're talking to a guy from Trinidad. He's married a Ghanaian wife, and he's getting down with things like kenke and banku, which like corn, fermented corn dough based like swallow items and all that kind of stuff that you eat with stews and all that jazz, right? So he comes in and he was like, "You guys have this great food, but all you do is keep it clustered within your community. You guys never really put it out there for anybody to go ahead and try, right?" As I was messing around with what do you call it, with the peanut brittle,
with the recipe
and all that kind of stuff, I just started forwarding it his way and to the way of all our Ghanaian friends and all that kind of stuff. And I give it to him and he'd be like, "Yeah, okay," and then go back and do some more iterations, give it to everybody else, and went back and forth with that. And then one day the formula came together, and bam, he was like, "That's right, I'm in."
That's the one.
Yep, this was around 2020 or so, right? So. Actually, prior to that, I actually started the business with another partner of mine, Walt. Shout out to Walt. And then as we brought Orson in and started getting things a little bit more focused, we started hitting farmers markets, and then started continuing to try and get into all these different retail places and all that kind of stuff, right? And then sort of strung the whole thing together, and basically. About what in year 6 right now? I mean, purchased our our co-packer, who, by the way, I had to call. I mean, during the during the beginning of this, I figured, you know what, I can't do this myself. Commercially? So I'm going to have to go and have somebody do that for me, right? So called around, got her. I got our friend Sharon Pavich. Had her go to help out with actually producing it. Christmas of 2019, she gave me 300 bags. I went and sold, so on and so forth. As I was trying to drag Orson into the business, you know what I'm saying? so yeah. So that's basically what happened. And so a few years later, she decided she wanted to retire. We bought the other business from her. And so we went from being a one product type company that was just a Brittle, which actually, now we always keep on talking about, man, what if we had just done that and just focused on that like a laser? Because we always we say focus, but we got that, and so now we're a full-scale confectionery company, which actually comes with a whole set of issues, but are very different from just having something that was almost close to being a hobby, if you want to put it that way. So,
all right,
yeah,
I'm feeling that. I'm feeling that.
Let me add to that, because I think if you know Yaw, this man's got ideas every day. It's like a new idea every day. But to me, that's the entrepreneurial mindset, right? He's always looking and say, "Hey, I see an opportunity. I see an opportunity. I see an opportunity." And I'll never forget the one that I remember going, "Oh my God, where is this guy going with this thing?" We talked about doing speakers.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He's like, "Here's a design for a speaker," and I'm looking. I'm like, "All right." So in my procurement background, I've covered a range of products and materials, across my career, right? And I'm like, these electronic components, this is China, this is gonna be. I'm like, but how do you differentiate? And I'm like, yeah, you gotta find something that is authentic to you, kind of like your ikigai, right?
Right.
What do you know? What are people willing to pay for?
Right.
What does the world need, right? And so when he came with the Brittle, I'm like, damn, that's your ikigai right there. You know this thing, people want it, and they'll pay for it. To me, it was like, this is a no-brainer, because I'd seen, what like I say, as an outsider looking at the Ghanaian foodscape, and then looking outside and going, there's no Ghanaian or African recognized food brands. There's the opportunity, right?
So
and because he knew he had access to how to make it, right? You got one part of the problem solved. Now it's just about commercialization, which I look at it, go, I can help with that. That's what I've done through my career, right? 20-something years in corporate, working. Started off actually in finance, and then did consulting, then did supply chain, procurement, right? I'm like, yeah, I can help him do that, which then feeds into my own backstory narrative, which is, I see myself as an instrument to help people around me become. That's it. They become ... Whatever you want to become, that's on you. But I always say, what can I do to help you become and realize your dreams using the skill sets that I have? So to your question on professionally, what would I be doing? I'm sitting on going, I think I'm almost there, right? Now, still have to figure out how I make money because I haven't worked for a couple of years. Right? But, I get up going in the morning, it's like, what motivates me? It's like, the people around me have problems. And I'm like, okay, how can I leverage my experiences, my background to help them? And if I do that every day, I'm doing what I was supposed to be doing, right? Love the conversations that you and I have had. Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's very similar to the conversations he and I had.
Yep.
Similar to the conversations my wife had. She and her one of her friends bought a beauty supply store downtown Appleton. They're like, can you look at this? And
You can go ahead and pub that. I'm sure she'll appreciate it.
can I remember the name of it?
Oh, man, you just got in trouble right there. Am I going to
thank you. Chic Beauty Supplies.
I was going to say, am I going to have to edit this out?
Well, I'll fast forward this section in the podcast. But yes, Chic Beauty Supplies. They bought it over 2 years ago, rebranded it. They got it there. And I got a brother down in Maryland. He has a pepper sauce company. He calls me up and says, hey, Orson, I'm trying to do this. What do you think? And I go, da-da-da-da. Make sure you have your cash flow. Make sure you have your branding. Make sure da-da-da-da. Right? I love doing that stuff.
Yeah, I want some of that pepper sauce.
Oh, you should taste it.
I never heard of this pepper sauce until this podcast.
Shadow Benny.
Well,
That is.
I want to challenge. Apparently, y'all don't know nothing about Timber's hot sauce.
You got hot sauce
Timber's
too?
got a hot sauce.
Oh man,
You have it there? Is it in the kitchen?
I'm gonna give you a jar.
Timber's hot sauce break. We got 3 breaks coming up right now. Brittle break.
Wait, no, look, Timber's hot sauce will end all of it because it's hot. It ain't that kind of hot. It's a different hot.
I wonder how it compared to Chateau.
Sexy sauce.
Oh my God.
That's hot, right?
I'm just saying.
Yes. So basically, what it comes down to is what Orson says is that he is helping me become ... the guy who is going to put, let's say African inspired snacks,
Sweets and treats.
yeah, that's right, and treats on the map in the U.S. Right. So if you notice, lots of folks have brought who've immigrated to the U.S. have brought their foods with them that have actually made it. Right.
Yeah.
Chinese food, right? You can find a Chinese food in every little town, every single town.
No matter
you go to, right?
how small that town
exactly,
is.
right? Everybody seems to enjoy it, right? You can find a Mexican restaurant wherever you go,
Wait,
right?
literally everywhere. They could have 4 people and the 5th person is a Mexican food restaurant.
So what I'm saying is, okay, well, where's Africa in all this, right? Not because I think we need to squeeze ourselves in there somehow because of just being represented, but because there is actually great tasting food. Now we're focusing mostly on the snacks and treats, all right? So like he says, focus. So that's what we're focusing on, and so hence the Nkati cake. And as we move on from from that, we will expand the menu as we're able to go ahead and get cracking on this. So
Yeah, but we need a restaurant. We need a rest. I keep telling these people, somebody needs to jump up and do a West African restaurant.
I agree. I just think there's capacity there. There's enough people who would be interested to go.
And
and if you made it experiential,
yes,
that is where it's at.
experience.
Yes,
exactly.
Because I remember when we started this thing off, right? Mm-hmm. There were a few naysayers. They're like, who's going to eat this in Catty cake, right? And when we market, we don't market necessarily to West African community, right? It's almost like
They already
what
know
does that say? The prophet is never celebrated in his hometown, right? It's like people go, I can make this at home. Why would I buy it? I'm like, yeah, but we're not trying to sell to you. We're trying to sell to the community.
Right.
And it's like the West African or Ghanaian restaurant here would be welcome because we get so many people walk up and go, what is this? The curiosity alone.
Oh, yeah.
What is this? And then they're willing to try it. And then when they taste it, they're like, oh my God, this thing is amazing.
Well, yeah. And then once they find their dish,
Yeah.
they will continue to show up all the time.
Yep.
If it's memorable and good, they will continue to show up.
Absolutely.
So if there's anybody out there who wants to talk about helping start up a West African restaurant, call us.
Holla.
All right. I think there's space for it for sure. Well, I'll tell you what, since we're kind of in it, and Kosh listeners, we're going to try to change the format a little bit of the Kosh here, and we're going to try to smooth it out a little bit. And instead, right now, we're going to just move right into this. Every single time we do that, I love it. And what that sound means, Kosh listeners, is that it is time for the topic of the week. And the topic of the week is chosen by our guests 99.9% of the time. And guess what? Today ain't gonna be any different. So, yeah, Orson, what is our topic of the week?
Our topic of the week, the price of chocolate.
Bruh. Ooh. and why do I feel like this is, I don't even know what's going on, but I feel like we're about to learn today.
Oof. Yeah, I know. Well, basically what's happened is that Ghana, Ivory, I don't know if it's actually even happened in Ivory Coast as well, but there's been a little bit of a problem with the crop for the past couple of years right now. So what's basically happened is there's a shortage, and to the extent that we are having to deal with it over here, the results are higher prices. Orson called me a couple of weeks ago and just told me that the price of milk chocolate went up from about 40 cents an ounce to 55 cents an ounce. And we were sweating bricks. And we were like, well, at least dark chocolate is still the same price. Then he calls me last week and tells me, hey, guess what? Dark chocolate sees the increase in milk chocolate and raises them some. Went from 41 cents that we were buying it an ounce to 59 cents an ounce.
Whoa, bruh.
Yeah, so what does that mean? That means we have to go ahead and increase the prices on our products, which causes me untold nightmares because he's like, well, we just got to do what we got to do. We got to go and increase the prices. And that's the guy then there's the guy who has to go and sit in front of his people who he sells to and saying, hey, guess what? Prices are increasing. So yeah, it's being in the confectionery business right now is no joke. Yeah,
this is an interesting dynamic we have. We can laugh about it now, but there are days when he's like, hey, I need to update my price sheet, and I'm like, you're gonna update it today, but I guarantee you we're gonna have to update it next week because the fluctuation and volatility is just crazy.
What else right now is affecting things? Because I don't know what goes into the recipe, but we've watched the price of eggs skyrocket, the price of this over here. We're in a place of I'm gonna say the dirty word here, of tariffs, which I feel could be packaging, it could be
dirty
right
word, tariffs.
Well, hey, look, because tell me when you say it just doesn't make you squinch a little bit, like
Pucker up.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like
Bend over.
you don't say anything good about that. You don't say anything good about that. You feel like you're in your feelings about it. So
no, it's everything. I mean, the whole question of inflation, right?
Yeah.
It's real, and it's the combination of the tariffs, right? Which we buy stuff. We have stuff that comes from overseas. I'm guaranteeing any listener here, we are paying that.
Yep.
Now, the challenge. And because I've worked in procurement, I've seen how companies deal with it. There's a couple ways you can deal with it. You get hit with the tariff. You can either pass it on through to the customer, 100%. you can try to negotiate with your supplier, if they're an overseas supplier, to do what I like to call share the pain. So let's say it's a 10% tariff, and you go to them and go, you take 5, I take 5. And then you take that, your 5, and you can decide, I'm passing all the 5 on to the customer, or I'm passing a part on to the customer. Or you can just absorb it completely, right? I don't think anybody's sitting down going, I can afford to absorb it completely. But absorbing it completely means you become less profitable. And as a business owner, if you become less profitable, you're now thinking of ways to offset that cost.
Right. You're going to cut somewhere else.
You're going to cut somewhere else. Yeah. So that's the tariffs. But then just in terms of inflation, right? I mean, we buy sugar, we buy butter, we buy packaging, we buy seasonings, like everything is up. 2 weeks ago, it was Metro. So in our candied pecans, for example, we use egg whites, right? Well, I couldn't find an egg white on a shelf. And don't know why. Here's what I think. I think people switch from buying whole eggs to egg whites. So now I need egg whites. I can't find egg whites. I mean, we found it eventually. But normally, egg whites be sitting on the shelf. I can just reach in, close my eye, pluck four boxes off the shelf. And I went to 3 Metros and I could not find egg whites, right? And so what happens is substitution, right? And people are substituting, even with our chocolates. Our typical chocolate, we use a 54% dark chocolate, out of stock, right? Then I have to go to a 56 or 57%, which was more expensive. That's where that 59 cents comes on. I'm like, now, sitting here going, okay, hopefully they'll get back in stock and I'll go back to my regular price. But the fact is, with the shortage of the cocoa coming out of Ghana, and I would also say I have a friend of mine in Trinidad. He's experiencing problems with his crop as well. Yeah. So I don't know if it's like a global disease or what, but
it's definitely affecting things.
I think there's and another conversation I had with someone recently about we need to be concerned about food security. The changing weather patterns, and I'm not going into a whole conversation of global warming or whatnot, believe it or not, your choice. There are changing weather patterns that are impacting food supply. That to me is a fact, right? And so I'm just looking at it as a confectioner, where I'm saying nobody needs to buy chocolate unless you're having a really bad day, and then you need chocolate.
Treat yourself, baby. Treat yourself.
Wait, there's a whole crew of individuals out there, Orson, that would highly disagree with you. Yeah. Someone, I'm gonna get a message in. They're gonna be like, tell him that he don't know what he's talking about.
In parentheses, nobody needs it unless you have, right? But I mean, things like your vegetables, right? Again, vegetables, your foodstuffs, we need to be concerned about it. We need to be more cognizant of what the supply chain looks like for food, especially if we are bringing food from out of the country or even out of state, right? Fruits. Right. I mean, we don't grow that many fruits in Wisconsin.
We don't have no clue. Yeah. I'm just going to be honest. We as people, all we know is it's in the grocery market.
Right. Yep.
And then we don't know nothing about no supply chain, where it done came from, what countries produce what. We don't nothing. We don't know nothing.
So yeah, we should be worried about price, but we should also be as worried, if not more, about supply.
Just the fact of does it exist?
Yeah, where is it coming from? Yeah. So
I don't know. That seems like a bad tariff idea. If we don't even know where food's coming from, that just sounds like we already were taking some pretty significant hits at the grocery store.
Yeah, I'm still blown away by the fact that they said that after the election or whatever it is, that what is a tariff? What do you call it? Was a trending topic on what you call it in Google and all that jazz. Because I'm like, if you studied economics 101 and where it is, even hopefully even in high school, I mean, you'd know what a tariff is. I mean, I'm still baffled by why people think that it is the company that is sitting outside that is going to be paying that tariff. So it baffles my mind.
Yeah, that's a lot of other people too, and ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Well, ignorance is bliss. All I'm saying is, what do you call it? Somebody's bringing this stuff in from abroad or whatever it is, and we have, again, like I said, we have people who import that stuff from us, right? If they get hit with a 25% tax or whatever it is, unfortunately, they're the ones that are going to be paying that thing. The guy who's sitting in, I don't know, China, if you want to put it that way, he doesn't care. I mean, he's still getting whatever he's been getting from the get-go. Now, yes, you can try and see if you can go ahead and share the pain if you want to, but I don't think those guys are too interested in doing that right now. So, so you get hit with a 25% tariff, whatever it is, the importer gets to pay that thing, and then guess what? Somebody like Orson and I then get to go ahead and feel that what you got paying along with them, because he has to jack his prices up unless he wants to be benevolent, which...
So that word doesn't work out in business. Those two don't.
Businessman, making losses wherever he goes.
That's not. They don't coincide to me.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm just, again, like I said, just a point of curiosity, because I'm just like, it's a head scratcher to me. But anyway,
all right,
yeah,
all right. I'm sorry, I pivoted y'all towards this conversation on tariffs, and now I'm gonna pivot you back to your topic of the week.
All right.
So we were on chocolate prices, and I went down the path of just supplies as a whole. What else? What else don't we understand about the confectionery business, the business of creating yummy treats?
It's really, and so this is, all right, we might go down another rabbit hole here, right? It's discretionary spend. Like I said, you're going to buy your milk, you're going to buy your eggs, you're going to buy bread every day. Confections are really treats. And actually for us, most of our customers buy them as gifts. So I'd say 60% of what we sell, someone's buying it for self-care, or you're going to treat someone you love or treat someone you know. Well, when things start getting hard, where are you cutting? You're not cutting bread out. You're not cutting water. Hey, you might put that last penny on that last case of Diet Pepsi or Coke, right? But you might go, I don't need chocolate today. And so as we sit here with an economy where stock prices up, stock prices down, people are living with uncertainty, we are focused on making sure people recognize that you still need to demonstrate gratitude, give gifts. And one of the things you should continue to consider is, when you give a gift of a chocolate or a gift of a treat, you're giving of yourself, even when you think you're living in a period of pain or uncertainty. But yeah, I mean, when things get hard, people start cutting back.
Oh yeah, big time. Mm-hmm. Big time.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any additional things you want to say about your topic of the week before we move to the next segment? Yeah, I wanted to flush this out.
This topic is bringing me down. I want to talk about the fun stuff, because looking at the prices every day, it's like, oh my God, how my concern is, how do I make sure that this is still affordable for my customers? Right. Mm-hmm. And we're not cutting corners, right? I know there's cheaper chocolate we could buy. There's cheaper sugars. There's cheaper butter. I'm like, I'm not going to sacrifice the quality of our product.
No, that gets frustrating, because when companies do that and it doesn't taste the same, you just, and it, like, people know, the people that know.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Like, when they really eat your product, they're like, man, what they done did.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And not to
we don't sell Twix.
Right.
We sell something, again, if you're going to be showing appreciation to somebody, right?
Right.
We build quality into a product that when you're buying it, right, that you feel a certain sense of, I don't know, like pride that you're able to go ahead and present this to the person that you want to show appreciation for, right? So if you're going to show that level of pride in that, and what it is that you're actually getting, right, we have to make sure that what we're providing to you is something that's worthwhile, if you want to put it that way. So,
all right, let me ask this then. Mm-hmm. We are rolling into farmers market season. Yay. All right, and yes. that is like y'all bread and butter. Y'all are like farmers market gurus. What can the people expect from the Brittle Daddies in this new 2025 farmers market season?
Well,
first of all, let's shout out Michelle.
Yeah, Michelle.
market manager for
Yeah.
Oshkosh.
Yes.
Oshkosh
Yes,
Farmers Market.
Yes.
We love us some Michelle.
Michelle,
She
yep,
has
so-
been good to us. So
Yep.
want to make sure we shout out Michelle. Farmers Market, staple for our business. We do the Oshkosh and the Appleton Market.
Mm-hmm.
We started alternating between the two in 2024
Yeah,
or 2023.
2023, I do believe. Yeah, 23. Yep.
Right. When we started, it was just the Brittle. And then when we acquired our co-packer, Sweet Peas, we added a line. I love when people come up and go, oh, you guys have expanded.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. You want Brittle? We got that. You want toffee?
We got
that.
that.
You want some candied pecans?
We got that too.
And you want chocolates? We got that. And then especially with the chocolates, 2 weeks ago, we came out with our new line of chocolate
yes.
bars. We call it the Wisco Bar Deluxe, right?
Uh-oh.
Wisconsin bar. So
Uh-oh. Bro.
Yeah.
We need to talk about this.
let's
Yes,
get
sir.
into it. Wisco Bar.
Yes.
So we have a chocolate bar that has the map of Wisconsin on it. It's a solid 2 ounces of just Belgian chocolate. This thing is decadent. And then over the last year, people have been coming up and asking us, do you do Dubai chocolate? And I'm like, no, we don't. But it was 1 request, 2 requests, 3 requests. Then we went and got some Dubai chocolate and we tested it out. And we were like, we could do this. We could. But then we like, you know what? We're leaning into Wisconsin. We can do the Dubai chocolate, but here's what we have. We have a Wisconsin, a Wisco bar. And so what we did is we took that 2 ounce chocolate bar and we infused it with 3 flavors. We have our peanut butter bliss. So think about Reese's, but with organic, rich, real peanut butter.
Now you
Better
talking?
than-
You
talk
talking?
about better than Reese's.
Well, you talk. Wait, you're talking my language now because Reese cups are my number one.
Oh, well, we have peanut butter cups in our store, right? And people say, no, this is not the Reese's cheap stuff. This is good stuff. So we took the peanut butter formula and we put it in the center of that Wisco bar. And then we were like, what else do we have? We actually make mint meltaways. So we took the mint meltaway ganache and we put it in the center of that Wisco bar. And then the third one, just to have a nice, like a wide portfolio, we took our raspberry and we call that one the Raspberry Delight. And so what we're saying is, yeah, you could get Dubai chocolate, but guess what?
We got Wisco bars.
We got Wisconsin chocolate here.
Yeah.
So you got the Wisco bar. And then here's the kicker. So we have an assortment. We call it our
booze ball
Supper
section.
Club Flight, which is a series of booze balls. Brandy Old Fashioned, Bourbon Balls, Pink Squirrel, Mudslide, Brandy Alexander. And we're like, what if we took the Brandy Old Fashioned recipe and infused it into the Wisconsin bar? Oh,
So that's a thing.
that will be a thing in about 2 weeks.
What?
2 weeks. Now, we're also working on the Dubai chocolate formulation, but we're going to put that Dubai chocolate formulation into the Wisco bar because we're still leaning into Wisconsin. We're from Wisconsin, damn it.
Now, I'm not gonna lie. Y'all gonna have to let me try some of these. We gonna have to
We
talk
might
about
have we might have to have a Wisco bar break.
that. Ooh, not the Wisco bar
Wisco
break.
bar break.
That would be fire.
Hey,
Okay.
Wisco bar and cider.
There you go.
Oh, that's going hard. That's leaning in hard.
Yeah. So one of the things that because obviously chocolate. Chocolate is chocolate, right? But
What are you talking about?
yes, but no. What I'm trying to emphasize is that the cream fillings that that we're using to insert into the Wisco bars were all created here in Wisconsin by Sharon Parrish, the original owner of Sweet Peas Pantry. So so everything that when you bite into and you get that explosion of what you call it of creamy goodness when you bite into it, that's all Wisconsin based. So yes, so the Wisco bar as the map of Wisconsin, and that's all good. But the point being is that they were all created here in Wisconsin. So hence the Wisco bar emphasis versus like the Dubai chocolate, which was created in Dubai, which is great flavoring and all that kind of stuff. And yes, we will have it at some point in time, but there are those Wisco-based flavors that you can really focus on as well.
We from Wisconsin.
Let me ask y'all this. Okay. I just happen to know that y'all done won a few awards because of some of your confectionaries. Let's talk about that. What has won and how did that go down?
2023.
Yeah, go ahead.
2023, Sharon had said, listen, this brittle is good. You should enter it in the Wisconsin State Fair. And we're like, this is going to be hard. How do we do this, right? And she's like, just do it. Put in the submission. It's actually much easier than you think.
Yeah.
Much easier than you think. I mean, there are quite a few people out here who are in the food space who should be doing this, right? And it's because maybe they are just not aware of it, or they think it's a difficult process. It's a fairly simple process. So we put the three brittles in. We put the cashew, we put the peanut, and we put the pistachio. And I remember sitting there while they were adjudicating, right? So you get to see the judges open the bag, take a sniff of the bag, pull it out, take a bite, wash it down with some water or drink, and take another bite. And they're doing that for maybe 5 to 10 other entries. And then they take the bag and then they put stuff aside. And so I'm looking at it and I see she took the cashew and she put it aside. I'm like, what does that mean? Is the cashew moving forward or not? Then she took the peanut and she put the pistachio aside on another pile. And then she put a couple other things. I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes. And then they go again for a second round and they're tasting and so here's how we landed. Third place in the sweets and treats category went to peanut.
The OG.
Yes.
The OG.
We call that the bold flavor. Like you can never go wrong with peanut. Second place went to the pistachio. So after the awards were given out, I went to the judge and was like, oh, can you give me some feedback? I want to know about the cashew. And she said, the cashew was okay, but it wasn't outstanding. She said, but the pistachio was very pistachio-y. And I said, well, I should hope so, because we
used a lot of pistachios. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we got that. And to me, that was a big thing, right? And out of that, I think we have so many taglines for our product. But we had that tagline that says, born in Ghana, raised in Wisconsin, for the brittle. The brittle that we have, you won't find that in Ghana. That is unique because of how we've modified and allowed the product to be influenced by what the community felt was palatable and what we could make. So we have that. But then that extends a tradition of award-winning confections that we had under Sweet Peas. So when Sharon started this business under Sweet Peas, she had already won an award for the toffees. So it was the cashew almond toffee, that won an award. The cherry caramels, that won an award. There were 2 candied pecans, a rosemary, salt, and pepper, and a margarita. Those won awards.
Right? Is that a margarita pecan?
A margarita pecan.
What? That sounds all sorts of fun and wrong. Which means I want some.
Note to self. Drop off some margarita pecan.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And then last year, so we entered 2 more items. We entered the ruby cherry almond toffee. That took second place at the state fair. And then we entered the spiced orange. If you think the margarita is something, we entered the spiced orange pecan. And that got third place at the state fair. So back to the point I was making again is we've inherited and are committed to producing award-winning, flavorful treats for our customers. Right? And then using our heritage from West Africa, we've got a pipeline of new products that we want to launch in the next 12 to 24 months. And they will all have that common theme. They're award-winning, flavorful treats that are made with quality ingredients. Yeah.
That's huge. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back and ask my other question, which was, is there any last things you would like to say about your topic of the week? Because I feel like we flushed out a lot.
I think
we are good.
is there any question you have for us on our topic of the week?
Oh, wait, I've been asking. I've been asking the whole time, like on a whole lot of things. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then, you know what we're going to do? Believe it or not, we haven't even jumped into the first segment. But now that we've done it differently, we are about to.
Yeah,
All right.
So the first segment is what in the world is going on with? And that's where you choose. You start with the term or saying the phrase, what in the world is going on with, and then you tell us what is on your mind. So let's go.
I'll go.
I know you want to talk about White Lotus.
What in the world is going on with the popularity of White Lotus?
Bruh.
Hey. Well, I could tell you, I absolutely love this show. I turned my wife onto it the other day as well. Like, I'm in 3 seasons in. The drama, the plot twists. But what it really is, I think, is you got multiple storylines converging around people who just living the human condition and experiencing their challenges, pains, right? And the resolution of those multiple storylines just throws you for a loop. And I'm not doing spoilers, right? But it is, at least I see it on my feed, my social media feeds, where people are just commenting. It's now turned into memes. This lady, Patricia Posey, I think that's her name, right? Parker, that's right. She's just blowing up. And I'm like, where have I seen you before? And she's been in these little, B-list movies and whatnot. But she plays in this season 3, she plays this character that is just absolutely funny, but still tragic, right? I'll just leave it at that. Season 3 has Patrick Schwarzenegger in it. So I'm like, oh, Arnold and Maria had a son, and he's now in the movie business. And he did a pretty good job, pretty decent job. And then other characters, another main character. And I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. He was in The Hateful Eight. He was in a couple shows with, it escapes me. Anyway, anyone who watches season 3 will know what I'm talking about, right? It's just the acting is phenomenal. So, and then for me, it's the soundtrack. When I watch whether it's a movie or a series, soundtrack can make or break.
That is so true.
The music can make or break. And I'm watching it. My daughter hears me playing the White Lotus soundtrack at home, and she's like, it's scary, but still something about it I like. And so, yeah. Love to hear what other people have to say about White Lotus. I know you guys haven't seen it, but
no, I have not watched it yet. But it's on my to-do list.
I don't think you'll regret.
Okay.
It ain't Marvel though, yo.
I know, right?
That tells me something.
Yes.
Okay. Yaw, your what in the world?
So my what in the world is I've been laughing my hiney off on my FYP page on TikTok because I've been seeing a bunch of these my Chinese manufacturers who are actually going online directly and doing live sales of their products online, where they're talking about the fact that all these designer companies that you're buying product from at thousands and thousands or 10x markup and all that kind of stuff. You know what? We're the ones who are making these things. It's the same quality. You can come to us, you can buy from us direct, and it'll cost you a lot less. And so, I mean, it's not just one or two. I mean, every single time I scroll up, I'm like, all right, here's another one. Oh, here's another one. Oh, here's another one. There's a guy who says that, and they explain kind of like how the supply chain actually works and all that kind of stuff, where they're getting their leather from, where they're getting their clasps and handles and all that kind of stuff from, and where they just go down and say, look, this is, and they break down the cost as well. So bottom line, a bag that Hermes is selling to you for 38 grand or whatever it is, they can put it together for you for about $1,000. It's a lot less. So again, like I said, I mean, I guess it's just been kind of an interesting thing that I've been seeing online.
Why do you think they're all of a sudden telling the trade secrets?
Telling the trade secrets because we're in a little bit of a battle with them about tariffs, and they're like, all right, you want to throw that out there? Bet. Here you go.
We're gonna tell. We're gonna tell the trade.
We're gonna tell the trade exactly. And I was like, and the thing is that if I mean, again, with my background in economics and business, I mean, I read about this, and anybody who is anybody knows about this if you're well versed in that kind of stuff, man. But the fact that these guys are just like, screw it, I'm going to put this thing out there, and we're just going, and it's like every like 10 or 15 different. Every single time I scroll up, it's like, all right, here's this person revealing that secret. Oh, here's that person revealing that secret. So I just thought it was kind of interesting.
That change. Well, I mean, it changes the game when you put it on TikTok.
Yep.
Right? Because you've just literally blasted it to the world.
Yep, exactly. Also, middle people, let's say that what they're doing is they're cutting the middleman out. Is what it is. So it was kind of interesting.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, my what in the world is going on with actually happened about 2 weeks ago. What in the world is going on with Bosco, the podcast dog, eating our basketball bracket?
Oh boy,
bruh! I'm not even kidding about this. Like, let me tell you about this that little joker. You know how they always had that rumor or that saying like the dog ate my homework?
Yeah,
yeah. So I
Bosco
literally
ate the bracket.
Bosco ate the bracket. I'm not even kidding. I come home and all right. So my wife got in the bracket for her job, and I was like, all right, what do you want me to do? You want me to do the picks? She was like, yeah, you can do the picks. So I do the picks for the bracket. I actually did really well. I actually came up with the top 2 teams, and I picked the correct winner of the bracket. But she didn't win it, but nonetheless. So we were tracking it because we actually were doing pretty decent in the bracket. Right. And she gets excited about the tracking of it because what she really wants to do is she just wants to go into work and talk smack to the people at work, which I admire her for that. Bruh. You know, that's how she gets down. So we actually did good this year, picked good teams. The bracket was working out to our favor. But all of a sudden I come home and I'm like, hey, there's a game tonight, babe. How are we doing on the bracket, right? This was conversation in our house. This was exciting stuff. And she goes, guess what? I'm thinking, whenever she says, guess what, I get worried. Because that could be anything. That could be the basement flooded. We ain't got no roof. That guess what can mean a lot of things. Right. Guess what? Bosco ate the bracket. I was like, what? Huh? Nah. And I'm thinking, no.
So was it on paper?
It was on paper, right? It's paper. We had the paper copy, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. So we had the one paper copy of it, the one, because they give you, you hand in your copy, they give you a copy back to say, to prove, the bracket and all of that. And here's the thing, it was folded in the fourths, right? So we had it in fourths because it was probably put in her pocket or whatever. He ate the middle corner out. So So here's what you couldn't see.
There you go.
The only thing you could see, you couldn't see any of. Wait, you couldn't see the edges. So none of the brackets. You can only see the final 2.
No,
the way he ate it.
Is Bosco used to eating paper?
No, he ain't never ate paper before. Bruh.
Bosco's trying to make a point here.
I think he was trying to tell us something.
Yeah, he's trying to become a goat.
Because that's what he was. He was on some different. Mm-hmm. So needless to say, luckily, I had the bracket saved somewhere else digitally. So I could kind of keep up with it. But the fact that this dog decided that this year he was going to eat the bracket, and he know he wrong. But you know what he don't feel? Guilt. You know why? Because mama still gives him all the treats he wants.
There you go.
I'm just keeping it.
I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
That's exactly what it is.
Keep on going.
That's right. He's like, how is this naughty different than the other naughty I do? Mm-hmm. This is my normal naughty. I'm going to eat this bracket. Y'all still going to love on me. I'm good.
That's right.
So that is what in the world is going on with. What it has made me aware of is I have to be careful of the type of papers that I leave around because I never know when this might happen again.
Mm-hmm. Was it on the floor? Like, how
I have no idea. Here's my thought process. If you want to know, the chances of you looking at your bracket after you were eating something like some potato chips or a chicken wing or something, you know what I mean? Because you're looking at your bracket, you're watching the game, you're eating treats that coincide with basketball bracket watching,
Barbecue wings.
Yeah, things. So if you really want to know what I'm thinking I'm thinking like we had, sauced up the paper a little bit.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What is this?
This bracket looks good.
I'm going to eat this."
All day.
This
Right.
is a good looking bracket.
Right. He's
Good
like-
smelling, good tasting,
Right,
everything.
He's like, it's got a little flavor to it. It's a little, a little barbecue on it. I'm gonna eat
That's
this. So I do believe that we might have been the cause. Okay, well, we have made it through what in the world is going on with. We're gonna jump into the next segment, which is called 21 Questions, and I'm gonna let y'all figure out how you want to do this. You both definitely have the opportunity to answer. But I'm gonna let y'all handle it. But I'm gonna start with the first question. And the first question is, what are you grateful for?
What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for two things right now. And I mean, they're no particular order, and they're not greater or worse than any other thing that I'm grateful for. But the two things that come to mind right now as we're talking are my beautiful wife, right? And what do you call it? My kids, she's raised to be pretty good kids, pretty independent kids, and my partner. Because without him, I don't know if we would be where we are right now. Yeah. So, like he said, I mean, over the past hour that we've been speaking, is that I miss the ideas, throw everything out there, boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, let's go. And then he's like, all right, you know what? We got to sit down there and we got to figure out how we're actually going to go and execute on this thing. So sometimes I could, there are days when I wish I could crack him with a baseball bat, like, yo, let's move forward, man. Let's keep cracking. But I'm like, but at each and every single juncture, it's like, all right, I mean, he has good measured way of approaching things that that really help us along with this business. So yeah, that's what I'm grateful for.
Okay, Orson, you throwing anything in?
I will echo from a slightly different perspective. I remember when I moved here in 2013, and so I wouldn't say I'm envious. When you've had friendships that have gone over the course of years, decades, and you've been able to maintain those friendships, there's something valuable about that, right? When you move to a new location and you have to recreate, that's hard. And I think it's especially harder for men.
I would wholeheartedly agree
Have
with that.
deep relationships. I see my wife and she's friends with everyone as far as I'm concerned, right? Right. But guys, we are, I'll see you, hey, I'll dap, right? And done. You don't have deep relationships, right? And so when you have the opportunity to recreate one, right? And I remember there was a guy who was part of our community. I'm like, I think I could be friends with this guy, right? And I tried and it just didn't go anywhere. And I'm like, crap, well. And then over the years, the friendship with Yaw, it kind of emerged out of nowhere, right? We met, we had some
brief conversations
here and there.
Yep.
And then, the 6 degrees of separation, we're like, oh yeah, that's interesting. And then eventually we go, hey, you want to go see a movie?
Yes.
Yeah. And before you know it, we're watching movies, like we have literally movie dates, he and I. And we're drinking beers and then talking so now you get to a point where, well, Yaw is like, it's got to be at least 10 years we've known each other, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? And so being able to form deep relationships, guys, hard, but when you have it, you got to be grateful for it. So that friendship with Yaw has allowed me to grow as a person and experience new things. If he didn't come to me with this business idea, I would probably still be working in corporate right now.
Yeah, I can't stress that enough, what you're talking about with guys and trying to make friends. And if it's not old school friends that you've had for a long time, meeting new people and then having the time to actually to nurture a new friendship with a dude.
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes time.
Yes.
Right.
And then the second thing, I've started developing more of an abundance mindset because I'm telling you, as a lot of people might attest to, everybody goes through challenges, but owning a business is its own stress and challenge. Woo. And unless you have an abundance mindset, you could just find yourself living and experiencing anxiety day over day over day over day, right? So So I say that to say gratitude as just a daily occurrence, whether it's I'm glad that I had that apple for breakfast this morning. Because you know what, there are people who can't have it. I'm glad I had the opportunity to have grapes, to drive down here, to sit with you, to sit and do this thing, right? Those are the things now I don't take for granted, because who knows, tomorrow may not have the opportunity, right? So just that having that abundance mindset, I think is key for me on a daily basis now.
As y'all can tell, Bosco the podcast dog has decided that he wants to be part of this episode.
That's right.
And I'm going to blame Mom for this, for giving him a new squeaky toy, because that is what that is.
Yeah. So just before we go on, it's kind of interesting. So how did Orson and I meet? Because I don't think we've actually touched on that as been going along. So basically, what ended up happening was, like I told you, I'm always about these business ideas. So I actually had these carved African masks that I was selling at a Juneteenth celebration in Appleton, and then that was the second time I'd actually done that. And so as I was kind of like going along, minding my own business, and just sort of like doing my shtick and all that kind of stuff, this beautiful couple walks up to me, and they walk up to me, and I'm like, oh, who are these guys? I mean, it was pretty interesting. Then we started getting into this conversation, and like we started talking about it. And then we found out that his wife is, what do you call it? Her mom was the assistant headmistress for the, what do you call it? For my sixth form secondary school that I was in. Yep. And
In Ghana.
In Ghana. Right. Yes.
And so, you meet in Appleton.
In Appleton of all places. I'm like, how the heck does that happen? But you know what? And then from there we were off to the races. And again, like I said, we'd see each other at parties here and there. And again, like I said, we'd have these conversations and go back and forth. And then so finally here we are sitting on the Kosh doing this podcast.
There we go.
Yeah. So but yes, it was very, very interesting. And then probably just it didn't really occur to me, but just even I think it was a couple of years ago, I found out that we were actually my wife and her were actually his wife and I were in the same primary school. She was like a year or two behind me, and again, like I said, it did not ring any bells to me up until like last year. I'm like, when we were. It's been quite a while since I've known them. So yeah, you just continue to just discover new things as you go along. So
the 6 degrees of separation is very small.
Very small, exactly. So
what motivates you?
What motivates me? I guess as I've grown older and what do you call it? I don't even know how to describe this, but seeing something through to fruition is kind of important for me. So what I try to do is, again, like I said, is waking up in the morning and just trying to figure out, well, what do you call it? What can we do to make this day, successful, if you want to put it that way? And one of the tools that I've actually learned as I've gone along is I've learned how to pivot. So if you're doing something as you're going along your day, or if you're working on something and it isn't working, what motivates me is being able to say, okay, you know what, this isn't working. We need to do something else. So that being able to pivot and start working on a solution to the same problem from a different angle, that's basically what motivates me.
What motivates me, I mentioned before, I see myself as an instrument. So to the extent that I can use who I am, what I've experienced, my thoughts, to help someone, whether it's my kids, my family, a coworker, a supplier, a customer, become, I would say that was a good day for me.
What worries you?
A whole lot. How do I even put this? What worries me is, on an immediate level, is what do you call it? Is we have folks who are kind of like depending on us for our business to actually be successful. And I'm like, every single day, I'm like, man, we just need to be able to go ahead and what do you call it, and make it to this point. Because I mean, there's a lot of things that we haven't even really talked about that we're doing behind the scenes right now. But it's like we're always trying to make sure that, man, we have our production manager. I mean, she's done a great job for us. I mean, again, like I said, we cannot fail this business and have to go and look for something else. We've got other employees, and then most importantly, Orson is what you call it, after being in corporate, but what you call it, and having a situation happen, and he's like, all right, I'm going into this full time. I'm like, man, I know I started this mess, but we need to be able to go ahead and finish this thing, so at least he can actually even start getting paid and what you call it, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, because I'm like, man, like I said, I started this mess, but we have to finish it. The two of us really have to finish it. So that basically is on my mind daily. Now, I'm not the freak out kind of person, so you're never going to see that on my face. You're never going to see me running around with my hair on fire and all that kind of stuff. But deep down, I'm like, we need to go ahead and succeed with this thing. I keep on telling him, there is no failure with this. We cannot fail. So that basically worries me all day, every day.
Yeah, everything worries me. I'm an overthinker. So something doesn't go left, and I'm like, why? And then I start going deep, right? So I think there was a tip of high functioning, high performing anxiety, whatever. That's where I live. And so I'm trying to make that shift. It served me well because it means I'm always looking to do things, make things better.
Right.
But I overthink. And so you could tell me, Russell's got a new toy. We can't find the toy. And I'm like, all right, okay, we got to find this toy. Where's the toy? So there isn't one particular thing that worries me other than becoming irrelevant, right? And so when I think of irrelevant, it's, am I doing a good job for my family? Am I doing a job as a husband? Am I doing a good job as a friend, as a business owner, am I maintaining my relevance?
What does success look like to you?
Well, a couple of different things. So success for me looks like I have kids that have good heads on their shoulders, that are going out and being, useful members of society, right? Because, I mean, when you have kids and all that, I mean, you just always wonder, well, how is it going to be for them? How are they going to end up and all that jazz, right? So to me, if I can die here knowing that that my kids have their life together and everything is good, that's success. Success to me. And then see again, like I said, bringing it back to Brittle, Daddies and all that jazz. Success for me would be us successfully doing our rebrand, which again, like I said, we haven't really talked about. Right? There's a lot of conversations that we're having with a lot of people, lots of cooks in the kitchen. He and I are trying to go ahead and step back and parse this out so that we can sort of ask the right questions, make sure that people are on the same page, and enable us to move forward in a speedy manner, so that we can actually, like I said, successfully rebrand and get our message out there. So,
yeah, for me, it's just the flip side of the worry, right? If I'm able to make a difference in someone's life on a daily basis, to me, I can put my head down on my pillow and sleep easy. And then on a daily basis, what does that mean for my kids, right? I got two 16-year-old, 14-year-old, 16-year-olds now driving, right? So he's doing his thing, all right? And so I'm like, have I been the best father to him so that he can become who he is supposed to be? And my daughter as well, right? When my wife leaves the house, I'm like, did I do a good job this morning being a husband? And again, being that hard on myself, I'm like, I could have done something differently, or I could have done a little bit more, right? Being on this journey with Yaw, as part of the Brittle Daddies, Gold Coast Candy, are we doing the right things to make a difference in people's lives, right? And then, in your different roles, son, brother, community member, right? If I can make a difference, I feel like I make a difference. I know that I make a difference. I'm happy with that.
What irritates you?
I'll let you go first.
Why you flip that to me? Yeah, is there something you want to tell me? You want to say?
No, I want you to tell the world what irritates you.
Oh, man. The last time I was here, I remember, and I'll say the same thing. Like, I put the keys where they're supposed to be. Put the remote where it's supposed to be. I come home in the evening. I want to watch some TV. I spent 10 minutes looking for the remote because somebody picked up the remote and they took it into the dining room. Now I have to get up, go get, put the keys. I'm ready to leave. I'm on a schedule. It's 10 minutes to get to Timber's place, right? 5 minutes to get dressed, Now if I have to add 5 minutes to look for the keys because they didn't put it on the hook that I built in the cabinet for the keys. Yeah, but other than that, I think I'm good.
Bruh. I felt your pain.
Oh.
What irritates me? Obtuseness.
Ooh, break that down.
Big word.
Yeah, break that down.
I have a very short, leash on people who come at you and whether it's knowingly or unknowingly come at you with nonsense, knowing full well that it is nonsense, but yet you go ahead and climb that hill and die on it. and again, like I said, I mean, it's like throwing good money after bad. You've made a bad choice, or whatever it is. It's been explained to you that it's a bad choice, and yet you'll come at it and just say, "Nah, it's a great choice," and all that kind of stuff, right? And things are going swimmingly well, knowing full well that things aren't going well. I'm just a numbers person. I'm just the kind of person who will look at facts, look at things from a 30, because I always say I look at things from a 30,000 foot level. If the stuff ain't going right, like I said, I've learned to pivot. Whether it was, no matter what the situation is. But if you're sitting down to dying on that hill, telling me this nonsense about this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 it just irritates the hell out of me. It really does. And that's all I will say.
Bruh.
If you want details, you can come, you can send me a message on our Facebook page. I'll let you know clear on that, but that's all I will say.
Per my last email.
Exactly. Yeah.
What do you want to be remembered for?
Ooh, that's a deep one.
I don't know. I still come back to living my purpose, right? And just making an impact, especially at this age, right? You past that half a century milestone, right? I'm going on mid-50s. Let's not give the number exactly. But it's almost like, that clock is ticking, right? What do you want people to remember? I want people to say, hey, you know what? He was a good guy and he helped me and he made a difference in my life. I always, and I think I said it in the last podcast, I look at my mom, phenomenal inspiration to this day for me. She's a teacher. She's been a school teacher as long as I've known myself. And the number of kids, and when I say kids, I mean, you're talking from grade school all the way up to, she's a professor at University of Georgia. So she teaches PhD students. So I say her kids. I mean, literally thousands of people's careers she's impacted. Thousands, directly and indirectly. Like, if I could do that, that would be great.
Yeah, I think I'm a little less. I'm a little more simple than that. If I can be remembered for putting a smile on your face, I'm good.
That was deep. That was good. How do you define love?
To me, I define love as commitment to. Well, I mean, if it's to a situation or a person, no matter what. So. You always, especially, when it comes to things like marriage or what do you call it, with your kids and all that kind of stuff, your commitment is to making sure that you're always in a good place, show kindness and respect and all that kind of stuff, and no matter what they do, if you can go ahead and overlook the slights and all that kind of stuff, and you can always come back to zero, that's how I would define love.
Yeah, for me, love is giving till it hurts, right? Giving of yourself, even when you feel like you don't have. If you give more than you think you have, to me, that's you demonstrating love.
What is the most memorable life lessons you learned from a parent, a guardian, or a mentor?
Whew.
I'll go.
Yeah.
So
you do that.
it's I won't give the background to it, but it's adjusting your expectations on the situation you're in, particularly with people. If you expect to get from someone something they don't have to give, you're setting yourself up for pain. Don't expect from someone who doesn't have it to give, whether it's patience, whether it's love, whether it's time, right? If they don't have it to give or don't want it to give, and you expect it, you're literally knocking your head against the wall. And so for the moment you know that, and if you change that expectation, you're not causing yourself pain. Because they're not causing you pain. You're causing yourself pain. And I've seen that many times. I've had that conversation with my mother. I've had that conversation with my mentors. I'm having that conversation with my kids. Like, it's like, if they don't have it, don't be upset when you don't get it from them.
I would say it's kind of funny as I'm sitting down here trying to figure out what what's the memorable life lesson that you've learned. I think it's trying to be, because let's look at it this way. I have a lot of ADD, so I'm always all over the place. So what I would say is, there's a lot of times when I have conversations with Orson and all that kind of stuff, because I look at him as a mentor, is that he's always, what he's taught me to do is take a look at the question, and what's the question that you're trying to answer? What are you trying to achieve? All right. So that, I think, has really caused me to, what do you call it? Like I said, focus a little bit more, because again, like I said, otherwise I'm all over the place. I'm like, I'm always trying to, like I said, I was coming up with all these different ideas and this and that and all that kind of stuff. Right now I'm like, and I don't often sit down and try to parse what it is that I'm trying to do. So from that perspective, I think what he's taught me to do is to really just sit down and ask yourself, what's the goal? What are you trying to achieve? And then also just getting that focus and trying to, what you call it, and using that as your yardstick to actually move forward. Because otherwise, again, like I said, sometimes I will admit I am a mess sometimes. So and again, sometimes what you call it, I will get a little bit irascible when he's coming at me with that, because I'm like, I'm trying to move forward. What are you trying to do? But then I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's take a little bit of time and let this breathe a little bit, and then what do you call it? And then ask yourself the question. And I've actually used that even at work, because I mean, at work, when I work at the bank, I mean, I'm in operations. So when I say I'm a banker, I'm not necessarily somebody who's out in front of people making loans. I'm more on the back end. I have 5 teams that report to me, and on a daily basis, I mean, at this point in time, I'm actually trying to mentor some folks who are newly promoted to supervisors right now, and we're trying to go ahead and we're talking about things about what it means to be a supervisor, and that's different from a team lead, and how do you parse that, and what are the things that you should be thinking about when you move into this next level, and all that kind of stuff. And we're reading some articles and having discussions about those and all that. And like I said, every once in a while I'm like, all right, so ask them. I mean, what's the question that we're trying to answer here? And then what do you call it? Then once you settle on that, then it's an easier path forward for you.
Let me add to that, because here's the beauty of partnerships, friendships, right? Where you learn from each other, right? So as much as I am the kind of overthinker in this kind of duo, Yaw is the kind of guy who's like, hey, gotta be done? Let's go. Heads down. Just do it. And I'm like, man, I've learned to do that more often. It's a conscious decision for me, right? To just go, here's what we're going to do, just plow through. It might be the wrong thing to do sometimes, but we're just going to do it. And then if it's, right, pivot, right? He talks about pivot. If it's the wrong thing, all right, you spend some energy, you realize the wrong thing, pivot and go. Where I'm like, crap, it's the wrong thing. We should have thought about this a little bit more. I'm like, no, we're not doing that, Orson. I'm not doing that. Don't do that to yourself. We take a step. It was the wrong step. At least you take one step and realize it's the wrong step. It's a different thing if you take 20 steps and then go, shoot.
That's true.
That's true. That was a bad call. It's going to cost you, right? So
yeah.
I look at people who are in business sometimes on their own, and like, I don't know.
How do you do this? Yeah.
Where's your support? Who is your confidant? Who are you learning from? Who's guiding you? That's rough.
That's really good, actually.
It's the cider talking.
That's right. Loose lips.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a second. But I got one more question before we finish up this segment, and it is this. All right, it is time. You are going to go talk in front of a conference of your peers, other great entrepreneurs. But before y'all do, and this is for both y'all together, y'all need to come up with y'all walkout song.
Got it.
Oh, yeah.
What is the walkout song for the Brittle Daddies?
Gupta.
Gupta. So this is kind of left field, right?
Yeah, right.
So
Very.
a couple years ago, all right, so the story might be a little long. So y'all and I doing the farmers markets, right? And so Saturday morning, we're heading down to the farmers markets. And so I pick him up or he picks me up and we're driving down, right? And we're like, we got the vibes, we got the samples, and we got the brittle. So the brittle is the brittle, the samples is the samples of the brittle. But we work without music because like one of our loves is we love music. He used to be a DJ. I love all sorts of music. And then y'all turned me on to I'm a piano, right? I was like, what is this? So is it South African based kind of house music? That's how you describe it, right?
Yep.
Completely different genre, but it's also consistent with us, right? And having that African inspired vibe to it. So there's a genre of music called I'm a piano. And so we'd be playing a playlist, I'm a piano. And then we hear this song, Gupta. It's so hard to describe. You have to actually look it up. It's by Focalistic, right? You have to look for it. But there's the percussion, there's that bass to it, and then there's that South African melody on top of it. And we're like, we just move. And so we're playing that in the background in the farmer's market, right? And the two of us are dancing in the booth itself and talking to people and and we go, this is our song. This is our song. A Brittle Daddy song is Gupta.
Yeah. Now, mind you, we have no clue what the hell the guy's saying.
Yeah.
No clue.
No clue what the hell the guy's saying. But we're like, you know what? We're rocking to it either way.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
It is just...
Yep.
Bruh.
That's right.
So anyone who wants to find it is Gupta. Gupta by Focalistic.
Oh, I'm totally throwing it on Spotify.
Oh.
Before y'all even leave the house.
All right.
Before y'all leave the studio, that's what's happening.
All right.
Okay, well, y'all have survived 21 questions.
All right. There we go.
Okay, what I want to do real quick, and because normally what I do is I like to tell the audience that, we're about to take what I would call the cider break. But what the audience doesn't realize is y'all been taking a cider break the whole episode.
Listen, that cider is just going down smoothly. That's right.
Kosh Habanero Blackberry Semi-Sweet. 6% alcohol.
Ooh.
This is a little more than the Juicy McJuice face.
Loose lips, baby.
Yeah.
So
We're the second bottle, actually.
Yes, we are.
yeah. So what I'm going to say is, unlike our normal cider break, is there any words that you would like to share with the Kosh listeners about your ciders?
My ciders?
Well, your cider today, or your tasting of the ciders.
Well, when you have something that's smooth and hot at the same time, smooth and hot. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, listen, I'm thinking, I actually forgot it was a hard cider until like half an hour ago. And I'm like, so I pick up the bottle. I'm like, wait a minute. This is 6%. Okay, that's why I'm so easygoing with my
That's right.
response.
He's relaxed. He's relaxed.
I am relaxed. This thing is, but it's smooth. It is smooth. And cider sometimes has a sharpness. It's not as sharp as I'm used to.
Yeah.
So hats off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hats off.
Well, we want to give a special shout out to our friends over there at Sunken Paddle, Spencer and Doug. Hey, thank y'all as always for helping to sponsor this Kosh podcast and giving amazing taste to our amazing guests.
Yeah, and if you want to go ahead and make a cider for me personally, call it Yowder. I'm good with that too.
Yowder.
Yowder. I'm good with that too. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, look, have a conversation with them. They are amazing. So
right.
once again, they are open on Fridays and Saturdays. That's when their tasting room is open. And
right.
what you get an opportunity to do is sit down and taste all their ciders, and it is a fantastic thing to do with your friends and
Brittle
your
and cider.
family.
We're doing that one day.
Hey,
Yeah.
we could go. Remember, we're still trying to do this. These little audio casts,
Yes, the audio casts.
taste
Oh, yeah.
things and whatnot.
I'm telling you, go down there, hang out with them, meet them, and then throw it out there.
There we go.
Yowder.
Yowder.
All right.
Look, Yowder.
I want to ask what the flavor composure or what it might be.
I
But
have no clue.
yeah, well, there we go.
They will have to figure it out.
Figure it out. Okay. Well, our next segment is called Word Association. And this is where we throw words at our guests and they tell us what comes to their minds. So, the first word that we always start with is the word we have always done every episode of the Kosh. It is the word of family. It is the word of friends. It is the word of community. It is the word of love. That word is food.
Watch it.
Hey, that's right. Watch it. A Ghanaian dish made with rice and beans. Now, the rice has been boiled in sorghum leaves, or sorghum stems, whatever it is, and that gives it a purplish color. And then what you do is you top it off with stew. With a meat stew that you cook either with either beef or goat or something like that, and then there's also like goat skin that you can have it with fish. You add a little bit of what you call it, like if you want to put some toppings on there, you can put some spaghetti or as we call it macaroni, and then what you call it gari, which has a little bit of oil in it, whatever it is. You throw that on there, and man, you take yourself through that journey of eating that meal. Lights out, baby. That's what about.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir. But food also means, for us, bringing people together. That's the reason why we actually, why Sharis actually exist. One of the things that we always say is share your Sharis. Share your Sharis. Come together, over that snack and have a good time, talk. Drink if you are, if you desire to do so. So, yeah.
Yeah, and with that, there's emotion tied to food.
Yep.
Right? So yeah, you're sharing your charades, but what does that mean? It usually means you're building some sort of memory.
Yep.
Some sort of experience that you can go back to. There's so many times people come up to us and go, "My grandfather loves peanut brittle," and they associate the food with that person
With
or
the
that
person.
experience.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Cocktail or beer?
Juicy
Juice face. So,
Appleton Beer Factory.
yes.
Favorite beer. We had it yesterday, right?
Yes, we did. Yes.
Juicy McJuice Face.
Juicy McJuice face. Yes. So, yeah, a friend of mine, somebody who I've actually known for a long time. When I freshly graduated from Lawrence University, I worked in a place called Backrack. It was a men's clothing store that was at the Fox River Mall.
I remember Backrack.
Yeah.
They had really nice sweaters.
Yeah. I mean, they had nice everything in that place. So,
Yeah, they did.
yeah. So I worked there for a little bit, and then my man Mark Matter, he and I used to work at that place. He's now at the Appleton Beer Factory, and he's responsible for bringing bands and all that kind of stuff over there. And we got into a conversation with him yesterday, actually, about maybe doing some co-branding where we actually infuse some of that Juicy McJuice face into some of our caramels. Yeah,
Ooh.
the Juicamel.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's what we're going to be calling it. Yeah.
JOOS.
Yeah. So talking about collaborations and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's the one thing that happens over cocktails and beers, right? Whether you are friends having a beer and connecting, or whether it's in business doing collaborations and all that kind of stuff. I mean, that's it's all about human relationships.
Right.
Having getting together at the pub or the bar and having a beer or whatever it is, right? So.
That also sounds like an opportunity for Sunken Paddle. Maybe I should make some cider caramels.
Ooh. Well, the conversation can always be had.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
If there just happens to become a habanero and blackberry caramel. You just might want to name that.
Arrow and blackberry
Caramel.
caramel. Hey,
Hey, look,
Hey,
that's right.
shop local.
Well, we're a small business, so shop local actually means quite a bit to us.
shop with us.
Yeah, shop with us, exactly.
But shout out to some of our local business partners.
Yep.
Right? Sturgeon Spirits.
Oh,
You know well, very
yeah.
well, all too well.
Shout out to my church.
Yeah. Sturgeon Spirits.
Yep.
Planet Perk.
Planet Perk, yep. The Oshkosh Food Co-op.
Oh, yes.
Yep. Shop there if you can. Local, exactly.
And one of our recent additions, Flights Wine and Cocktail Bar.
Yeah, correct.
Ooh, I've heard that place. I haven't gone there yet, but I heard.
Very nice. What is?
I need help connecting with that owner. They need an episode.
Oh,
We could do that.
we could do that.
We can do that.
All right.
That place is very swanky. The vibe in there is just so relaxed. And it's interesting. It's woman owned, right?
Right.
And you go in there. It seems to me like, 80% of our customer base seems to be women, and the vibe there is women getting together and enjoying each other's company, relaxing in a space that is just so inviting. So Flights, I would highly recommend.
Yeah. Yeah. But the other thing to me with shop local is, you've got folks who are willing to put themselves out there, right, to go ahead and provide whatever it is that folks who are within the vicinity need, right? And what's happened is you've gotten the big conglomerates and so on and so forth who've come in and then basically have pushed a lot of these folks out and all that kind of stuff, right? And so it makes life it makes life difficult for you as a I would say as a little shop owner to really be able to go ahead and put yourself out there, especially if you don't have the advantage of having that scale to be able to go and buy and mass to be able to go ahead and keep your pricing down. And so, we feel that every step of the way. We're behind every, small shop owner or every small business who's putting themselves out there and taking that risk, right? And so, yeah, if I would say, if you can go ahead and even afford to put a little bit of your household income towards some of those folks, that would be great. Yeah. It's kind of interesting.
I think it's also, there's the whole slogan of shop local, but the reality is, as I was saying, right now we're experiencing or going through a period where our societies and communities are really reevaluating the impact of globalization on businesses. And when I say globalization, you could talk about as a country, where do we buy from? But as a community, where do you buy from, right? And if you can have dollars circulate in your economy, it benefits the economy. Far too often, we default to buying from large organizations who are really extracting value from our local economies, right? Whether it's, driving the decimation of small businesses or taking value out and not reinvesting in communities. So, not to bring this whole thing back to the tariffs and whatnot, but we have to, as a country and community, think about how do you leverage business to drive healthy communities, as opposed to having businesses be extractive organizations where we're extracting value from each other and doing whatever we want with it. Right? Yeah, exactly. It's gotta be, and so shout out to Jason Schulis, who was on your program a couple months back, as part of the Generative Local Community Initiative, where we're thinking about that. How do you build generative local economies that rely on each other, but also adds value to the community instead of extracting value from the community?
Yeah, think about it this way, right? Way back in the day, you had a ton of local businesses, right, who basically served the community, right? And then what happened to them? Malls came through, right? Pretty much just shattered that whole environment, right? Because now you could go to one place and you can sort of like go
one-stop shop
and all that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And again, so what did they do? Most of these folks who are most of these companies that are in these malls, right? They're the big conglomerates, and so what do? They take the money locally from the mall that's sitting in there, right? But then that goes out to the corporate coffers, right?
Right.
Which most likely out of the state, right? Instead of having those dollars circulate within the economy and being able to create that kind of value, right? And now, guess what's happening? You've got the big online folks, right, coming in like Amazon and this and that. And now they're even decimating the malls right now. So it's that kind of a cycle where it's just like it's always the big kahuna coming in and pretty much just wrecking everything for folks and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, if you can keep the dollars within the community by shopping local, that's because I mean, shopping local, man, that's probably somebody that you know. You know, like, would you rather give your money to them, or or would you rather give it to Elon Musk,
Right.
or would you or Jeff Bezos?
And they're usually the ones that will reinvest back into the community.
Yeah.
That's how those softball teams get those shirts.
Exactly.
That's how,
Yeah.
you know, that's how those boxes of Girl Scout cookies get bought up.
Yeah. So,
you know, it's those individuals.
yeah, if you keep the money within the community, your community, I mean, you get
Thrives.
that, you develop, thrives. Exactly. You pay it to some nameless, faceless somebody out there, but you end up decimating your community. So it's kind of important.
All right. I'm going to skip some words that we normally do, and I'm going to jump to entrepreneurship.
All right. So somebody who is heavy into entrepreneurship, what do you call it? Somebody who's heavy into entrepreneurship, who I kind of follow every once in a while on the internets, as you may, is being an entrepreneur. Right? Is being able to set up, and I can't explain it as well as he does, but just being able to set up your business, building teams within your business that can actually where the teams or the folks that you put in place actually help you where you are deficient, right? So that's why you have folks in accounting, you have folks in marketing, you have folks in sales, you have folks in all these different facets of a business that you should be able to go and bring together to go and help you thrive. So that when you leave, and when I say leave, I'm not necessarily sell the business, but if you step out for a moment, right, and let's say you go on a 2-week vacation, when you come back, your business is still there because your team that you put in place is actually keeping the place humming. So to me, entrepreneurship is not so much about, hey, I got a product or I got a service and I want to sell it. To me, entrepreneurship is more about being able to put the teams together to be able to go ahead and help whatever it is that you're doing move forward. The other thing as well is being an entrepreneur, and this is kind of like more of like the how would you call it, the normal thing as well. What you call it, you see a problem and you come up with a solution for it, right? There is that. But for me, entrepreneurship is more about how do you build the teams, how do you put together the teams and the folks together in your business to make sure that the thing runs, especially if you're the head and you leave. So one of the things that I think that I try to stress is how do you go ahead and move forward or put teams together to move things forward so that you're not stressing out. So that's one of the reasons why, again, like I said, I was so keen about bringing Orson into the business. He has that, that the know-how and the wherewithal to go ahead and sit back and take a look at things and be like, all right, I know you want to go and plow forward, but here's the things that we need to do to be able to go and be successful, right? The other person is, another integral part of a business is, the folks who actually work for us, so Kim, our production manager, so on and so forth. She is integral to making sure that the kitchen and production is actually in place, right? Now, it's kind of interesting right now is that now we went through this packer program. We've got some mentors in place. So this team is responsible for guiding us in our next iteration of where we want to be. Like we talked about, we want to do some rebranding, so on and so forth. They're helping us focus on that. So to me, that's what entrepreneurship is. Not necessarily, I see a gap in the market. I got a solution for it. Let me put it out there. But the question is how do you build the teams or put the manpower together to be able to go and make sure that this thing is functioning on all,
Cylinders?
Cylinders. Yeah, there you go. All right. There you go.
Okay. And y'all have now survived word association. Okay. The next segment is called the Kosh Hidden Gems. This is an opportunity for our guest to share a hidden gem, and that hidden gem could be something everybody knows about, but maybe there's a detail that they don't know about it, or a program that's maybe associated with, or maybe it's something you don't think a lot of people know about. What are your hidden gems?
I'll let him go.
All right.
All right. Maybe hidden to the vast public, but it's a gem that we have embraced completely. Yaw sort of mentioned it. So late last year, we were accepted into the Green Bay Packers mentorship protege program. Huge. So with that program, what they've done is they've paired businesses up, whether it's startup or emerging business, with mentors who can help them grow and scale. And so we were fortunate to be partnered with Northwest Mutual, huge company. And I would admit I didn't really know about them until we visited with them, 2 months ago?
Mm-hmm.
Down their office in Milwaukee. Oh my God. Vast organization that's deploying multiple resources from within their organization to help us, whether it's finance, it's real estate. We met with their head of restaurant operations last week, and we see an opportunity for us to learn so much from how they do things and apply that to our business. When we go through this program, when we're done with this program, Gold Coast Candy is going to be a completely different organization. But living our mission, right, which is to really bring African inspired
and other global flavors,
clean ingredient products to the market, to the community, and by community we don't just mean Wisconsin, right? We're looking at nationally, how can we become a recognized player in that confectionery and gifting marketplace? So, yeah, and so we've actually known other organizations have gone through it. Favorite Brand, I don't know if you know that.
Yes.
Yep, they went through it.
They're amazing.
Amy and Josh, hats off to them. They've gone through it. I think Siren Shrub. No, that was FFI. Yeah, we've had other people go through it, and so I do recall someone said, "Hey, how did you get onto it?" Like, we just went to their website, submitted our application, and we were accepted.
Yeah, it was actually on the suggestion of
Irene.
Irene Strobing. She's part of she helps at the Lawrence University.
Has Irene been on your program?
We have not done it. I have done a episode with Irene, but not an episode of the Kosh with Irene. Irene has been on Appleton Engaged.
Okay. Yeah. I was having a conversation with her one day, and she had indicated, "Hey, I want you to apply for the Packer program." I was like, "Okay, I can do that." It's something that's sort of like we've heard about it, we've talked about it, and we were like kind of like ambivalent about it. It doesn't make sense and all that kind of stuff. But she said, "I want you to go ahead and apply for the Packer program," when she was having a conversation with me, and I was like, "All right, I can do that." And you know what? It's been a great idea, because I think it's definitely going to, like Orson said, help shape where we go once we're done with the program, for sure. Yeah.
And that was a really, really good hidden gem. Okay. Our next and last segment for this episode is called Story Time. And Story Time is an opportunity for, well, you know what? Before we do Story Time, you know what we haven't done? Oh, well, let me help you out.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey, Timber, this is Orson.
This is Yaw.
Hashtag the Brittle Daddies. Timber, every week you have some amazing guests who have some amazing stories, and we want to give them a little something.
Yeah, let's give them the pistachio brittle. It's a state fair winner.
Oh, the pistachio. Leave this for guests who have some really exciting stories. I think they'll enjoy it.
Yeah, and if your guests want to find out more about Share's Ghana Style Brittle, they should go to sharesgsb.com.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. All right, we're out.
Deuces.
Oh, man.
That's right. That's what I'm talking about. My boy Roscoe says, "I want some too."
Roscoe wants some.
Bosco says he wants some brittle.
Oh, Bosco is all about this life. He's gotten it from other guests. That's why.
Okay.
When we've had other guests share,
He can eat this?
that Yeah, I mean, it's all natural. It's made with the top
Natural.
ingredients,
Hey.
you know. And
There you go.
and Bosco eats a lot of peanut butter.
I thought dogs
Both
couldn't
good.
eat peanuts.
Oh no, they totally
Yeah.
Oh, it's chocolate. They can't.
chocolate. They can't eat chocolate.
I'm gonna do some ASMR here.
Oh, there you go.
Man,
See,
just pistachio.
Pistachio.
Yeah.
see,
Shari's kind of style Brittle.
I'm gonna tell you how you know it's good because the minute I was like, "Oh, we're gonna circle back to this brittle break," y'all both got excited. They both cracked open the bag. Y'all's hand was deep in that bag fast.
That's right.
But you know, part of and I think we do it so often we forget. I remember the first time we did the pistachio. We remember, and some of the things we say to customers. It's a multi-sensory experience to eat the brittle.
It
You
is.
open that bag, you should get that aroma of the pistachio or the peanut, less so the cashew, but you should get the aroma first.
Hitting
Then
you right in the nostrils.
Oh yeah. That thing should just blow you back. Then you pick it up, and you feel the texture of this thing, and you're like, okay, it looks easy to handle. Then you bite into it, and then you realize it's not that hard to bite into. A lot of people come up and go, I don't like brittle because I'm afraid to chip a tooth, and I'm like, we got a solution. I know a guy who has a solution to that problem. For you.
Yeah.
And then when you taste it, we say easy to bite into, nuts in every bite, and the taste. And most importantly, it doesn't stick to your teeth as aggressively as traditional brittle.
Well, let me do what people always do to me once I share the brittle with them, because you've heard the responses of people trying the brittle, right? First of all, they're like, "What? Huh?" Then you hear the crunch, and you're like, "This is amazing." And then the next question is that I never have the appropriate answer is, "Where can I get it? Where can I get it?" So where are some of these locations where you can actually get the brittle?
All right. So, as usual, if you really, the quickest place you can go to is our website. You go to sharesgsb.com. You can purchase it online. However, if you want to shop local and you want to go ahead and hit up some other folks in the Oshkosh area, we have it at the Oshkosh Food Co-op. We have it at Planet Perk. We have it at what's the other place that we have? Oshkosh. Sturgeon. Sturgeon has pecans. So not necessarily the Britain. Oh, they do have the pistachio brittle there for sure. Yes. Yep. And then does Flights have it as well? Okay, so Flight doesn't have it. So they have the our sister brand. Yeah. So if you're in Appleton, you can get it at the Free Market. You can get it.
Voyager's Coffee House.
Blue Moon. Voyagers, actually, we were there for a little bit and no more. It used to be there, yep.
Right.
But you can definitely get it at the Free Market. You can get it at
Copper Rock,
Rock.
General Store,
Yep.
Jacobs,
Nemat's, yep. And then if you're listening from the Madison area, you can actually get it at Willie Street Co-op. Yes, you can get it at Willie, and you can also get it for Imagination
and Conscious Carnival.
And
And then in Milwaukee,
you can get it at the Outpost.
Beans and Barley.
No, you can't get it at Beans and Barley anymore. Yeah.
Lost out on that one.
Yeah. But you can get our other stuff from Beans and Barley. but
Shoot. Dude. You forget
Yes.
Festival.
Wisconsin. Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yes, so we're in a few different festival locations. In the Fox Cities, you can get it at the Darboy location. Appleton, you can get it at the Northland location. You can get it at Kimberly and also in Menasha. And then if you go, you can also get it here down south in Madison, Verona, and Janesville. Yep, so you can get it there. So we're slowly sort of expanding our reach, if you want to put it that way.
Oh, I don't forget. So we have an interesting customer, Zingerman's
If you're in Michigan,
they love the
cashew.
cashew. Oh my God. When they put in an order, there's like 4 cases in one. But they put it in their gift boxes as well. Oh, yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to make sure because I never have the best answer when people ask. And since we actually have you on here, we might as well get it addressed.
And don't forget, if you want a bag of Brittle, maybe you should be a guest on the
Kosh, exactly.
And that's not a bad.
You can get a free bag of Brittle. That's right. You go to
there is truth in that. And I'm going to promise you that Bosco, the podcast dog, is going to also run up on you
that's right.
and try to talk you into sharing a little bit of Brittle.
Give me some of that Brittle.
He's kind of, you saw how he rolled up on you.
Oh,
He was kind of gangster about it too.
Like,
he was like, hey,
listen.
I think he's like,
I know what you got there.
Wait, he wasn't even in the room.
No.
You cracked it open, he smelt it.
He just had that bag and he's
He was like, hey,
yeah.
it's about to be on.
Hand over some Brittle and
That's
it
right.
ain't going to be no trouble.
Right. That's right. Hand over some of that Brittle, it won't be no problems. That is exactly what he said.
Man.
Oh my God. See, now you see how that bracket got eaten.
Yeah. It was like finger licking good barbecue sauce. It was like
Facts. Okay, well, we're going to circle back now. And the last segment of this episode is called Story Time. And Story Time is an opportunity for our guests to just tell a story. And that story can be about absolutely anything. So, Yaw, we're going to lean towards you for the story.
you're gonna lean towards me for the story.
Yes.
I'll supplement.
All right. You know something? Since this is going to be a completely left field, what do you call it, a story, right? Oh, sorry, yes. All right, so Yaw arrives in the United States of America at age 18, going on 19. Yaw is a house head, meaning I listen to house music. Yaw, with a bunch of friends, decides that we are going to go to a rave in Milwaukee. Yeah, this is in 1992. And if anybody was around at that time, you may have heard of this story. So, we're at the rave. We're having a good old time. Blah, 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 blah. We're just chilling, minding our own business. Guess what happens? The police raid. The police raid the place. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Bruh.
Yeah, I know. So the police raid the place, and they just start putting, plastic cuffs on everybody, man. Da-da-da-da-da. So Yaw comes to the go to USA in September. In November, he's at a rave. Next minute, he knows, he's sitting, in a cell with a bunch of people who went to a rave. Now, mind you, this rave was being organized, had been organized for a long time, and I think police had got wind of it and decided they were going to raid the place. Guess what? Why did they raid the place? Quote unquote, because apparently there was supposed to be drugs there, whatever it is. You know what they found? A 6-pack of beer belonging to the DJ.
Bruh.
That's all they found. And yet they decided to waste everybody's time, waste everybody's money, and they again, like I said. Oh, now here's the interesting part of this. Like I said I was 18 going on 19, right? I spent my birthday in that cell.
Oh.
Yeah, so that was kind of interesting. So basically, this thing went on for a couple weeks. They let us go the next day, and everybody just sort of solely just kind of made their way back to wherever it is that they went. We went back to school and all that kind of stuff, right? So it's kind of hilarious because basically they fined us all. There was like a $350 fine or whatever it is. I'm
What?
like,
Bruh.
per person. Wow. I was like, hey, look, listen.
For a 6-pack of beer?
For a 6-pack of beer that was by the DJ. Nobody else had the beer. Nobody else had drugs. It was just...
I've got questions because here's my number one question.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. There's only 6 beers in a 6-pack. Mm-hmm. There was way more than 6 of y'all that got arrested.
Oh, yeah. Those are over 100 people that got arrested.
How are they charging all of y'all?
Oh.
There's only 6 beers.
Listen, when they were charging us, they didn't know what to charge us with. So we were literally standing there, on the, sitting there at the, at the charging station, right, where these,
at the police station,
where these cops were just kind of they were putting in whatever it is that they could find to go ahead and charge us. Now,
they had to find something.
Yeah, they had to find something. So here's what ended up happening. There was such a stink that was made about this thing that, about 2 or 3 weeks later, the whole thing just died. They dropped the charges and everything. I was like, man, I just got here, man. I don't have $350 to go and shell out as a fine. Are you kidding me?
Where was this rave?
This is in Milwaukee.
At the rave. Because there's a place called the Rave. Was it at the Rave?
I know.
Or this was a rave?
This was a rave. This was a rave at a warehouse somewhere. So,
Yep.
So that was, in 1992, they weren't too, fond of that kind of stuff. So anyway, now, if you go and look for, in the archives, in the Post-Crescent, from 1992, around maybe between September and November,
You'll see your name charged for...
Well, you won't find my name on there, but you will see the story and how the whole thing just ensued and how they just ended up dropping the charges and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, that was my welcome to the U.S. story.
I didn't know I was doing business with a criminal.
So, funnily enough, I mean, again, like I said, I went to... so here I was, all like, oh, my goodness, this thing is on my record right now. But you know what? Like I said... It got dropped. So basically, it was all expunged and all that kind of stuff. Because I remember when I was actually I was applying for my citizenship, I actually went to look to see if I could actually find the records and all that kind of stuff. I went down to Milwaukee and all that kind of stuff. They could find nothing.
Well, no, if they dropped it, they dropped it.
Yeah, they dropped it. And also 7 years, all that stuff gets got tossed out anyway. So that was kind of interesting. Yeah, man. I still love house music, though.
See, the house music will get you every time. Every time. Orson, you didn't hear this story?
This is the first time I'm hearing this story.
No. Like I said.
Bruh. See?
Yeah. You just never know.
I'm going to rethink this partnership.
All right. Orson, you got a story for us?
You got my story last time, right? I can't top that story. There's no topping that story.
No, there is no topping that. That is pretty doggone good. Orson, it kind of make me want to kick it with you now. I'm just saying. Sound like a good time to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what that means? First of all, I want to take a quick moment and say, Yaw and Orson, thank you.
You're welcome.
We're going to start wrapping up this episode, Kosh listeners, and here it goes. Ooh, you know what that means. All right. So I just want to take a moment and say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for spending time with us. Thank you for giving us your minds and ears. Thank you for hanging out with us for another fantastic episode, getting to know our neighbors a little bit better, getting to know the journeys of an entrepreneur. I love these conversations. These are true lessons. When you get to learn your neighbors and their journeys and how they are going about helping to make things better in our community in their own individual way. And the way they're doing it here, our Brittle Daddies, is they are giving us yummy treats to make us all happy and smile. And that is fantastic. Not to mention all the knowledge that they bring along with and the good they're doing to others within the community. So you already know what we are trying to do here. We are trying to become the #1 podcast in Wisconsin. Can't do it without you. And thank you for all of y'all as y'all continue to listen to these episodes as we put them out there. So what do I need? As you listen to these episodes, if you would like to be a guest on the Kosh, hey, holler at me. Let me know. If you've got recommendations of guests, let me know. And we are trying to switch up the format a little bit. So if you've got any suggestions on how we can switch the format up and make it maybe a little smoother for the listener, let me know. So that means you can email me at askthekosh@gmail.com. Once again, that is askthekosh@gmail.com. Also, while you're listening, we hope to expand our audience, and that's done through analytics. So while you're listening, take a moment, press the subscribe button. If there's 5 stars, go ahead and give us those. And take one more extra moment and just fill out a review. These are all things that increase our analytics, and the better our analytics, the more people can learn about this cool community podcast known as the Kosh. Okay, well, we've got a little more business to do, and one of the things that is very important in every episode is this. It is shout out time. So, y'all, you can start with the shout outs, and Orson will go with your shout outs second. What do we got?
Oh boy, who am I going to shout out? What you call it? Here, I'll give a shout out to Leslie Asare, who always has my back. How about that?
That works. You're going to keep it short and sweet, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Fantastic.
Yeah, same here, right? My family, my wife Kate, kids Osazi and Kayla, my pride and joy. Oh, I like to say, hi, Mom. I like to shout out my mom. Janice and the rest of my family. And then just sort of generic, but I want to say that living in the Appleton community, Fox Cities, has been a blessing. So to anyone who we've crossed paths with, who's touched my life, just thank you. That would include timber.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, when we did the Brittle Daddies ad, I was like, this thing is amazing. But in my mind, we could have only done it with timber. Like, there's nobody else in our network that could have facilitated the creation of this thing that now exists online.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It's a pride point for me too, because it's just fire.
Yeah.
It's just fire, and you can't not listen to them and not feel good.
Right.
So there's great introduction.
Actually, you know what? Maybe I should go ahead and shout out the kids as well.
I was gonna say you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, the kids. I mean, who are always keeping me on my toes. Whew, man. Yes, there's a lot of what you call it, hits and that I take every once in a while. And like,
Hey,
yeah, thanks.
wait a minute. You're not gonna shout out Charlie?
Oh, I cannot forget
Hey.
Charlie, my boy Charlie,
Charlie.
my ginger Charlie. And actually, to all our customers and friends, our customers are the guys who keep our doors open, right? And friends and collaborators and so on and so forth. Everybody who basically is helping keeping us afloat. I shout out to you.
facts. All right, I'm gonna try to follow the role model or the model here and say my shout outs real quick. I want to give a special shout out to Appleton Podcast Co-op. I got an opportunity to do a live podcast episode. It was amazing. We had a crowd of about 30 to 35 people. And a special shout out to my partner in crime, Andy, who is the co-host to my other podcast, Appleton Engaged. So that was fantastic. And our guest was Mayor Woodford from Appleton. So the three of us got in front of this crowd, and it was just wonderful being in front of fellow podcasters, people who that share that craft of creating these podcasts. Was just a really cool experience. So, and I want to send a special shout out to McFleischman's because that's where it was held at. I had never been in there before. And that place is cool.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's got a certain charm to it for sure.
Absolutely. All right. And then I want to send a special shout out to Karen and Jeff. I got an opportunity because of them to go to the Wine Fest, me and my wife, and Wine Fest was cool, which was a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club here in Oshkosh. Just a great experience overall, and thank you for letting us sit at your table, Karen and Jeff. Y'all are awesome. And last, never least, I must send that shout out to my wife, who continues to let me do a podcast in the house. Baby, I love you. And thank you for being amazing. All right. Now, last thing we got to do here to wrap up this episode is this. You have an opportunity. There's 3 choices, and you both get the 3 choices. And the 3 choices are this. You can either first you can tell us some parting words of wisdom for the Kosh listeners. Option B, you can tell us what would yourself today tell your 13-year-old self. Or option C, you can do both. All right. And I'm going to give Yaw time to think on this. I'm going to go to you first, Orson, on this.
Oh, yeah. So message to my 13-year-old self and to anyone listening, live in abundance. Do not live thinking that there's scarcity. If you think that there's scarcity, there is scarcity. If you believe and you think that there's abundance, there is abundance. Anything that you need, all the resources, all the help, the support, it already exists. Your journey in life is to just tap into it. It's not coming to you. It's not in the future. It exists now. You just have to align yourself. And it starts with just having that belief that you're living in abundance and grateful for that abundance.
My message is and this is just sort of like a general thing, is be persistent. You are going to encounter obstacles to whatever it is that you want to do. And the only way that you're going to see yourself through the other side is to be persistent, is to continuously knock your head against the wall or whatever object that's sitting in front of you until it actually breaks. Sounds, what you call it, sounds hard, and it sounds tedious, and it is all those things. And again, like I said, this is where I always say your pivot always comes in and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, if you can really just persist in the presence of your obstacles, you should be able to make it. Or at the very least, be able to tell yourself that you actually tried the hardest that you could prior to things not working out, if they don't end up working out in the end.
All right. Fire episode. Okay, y'all. Orson, what'd you think?
Oh, we had fun doing this. Yeah. Let's see.
Set us up for next year.
Yeah, exactly.
The Kosh.
Yeah.